Welcome back to the channel, everybody. Let's get after it.
There was a man who went by the name Earl John Brewer. Said that there was this cave that was in Utah, held different artifacts from an ancient, technologically advanced civilization. In fact, giants in this cave. The natives called this cave the Cave of the Great Spirit, and then discovered all these ancient copper tablets that had weird inscriptions on them. But people just started like, okay, John Brewer, you're full of crap. Like, tell us where this is. He's like, I won't, because a couple of years before that was the Lovelock Cave incident, right? And that's where the Smithsonian came in. Yeah. All of a sudden, the bones disappeared. In fact, he told this man, one day I was walking to the cave, and all of a sudden there's 3 men standing, and they said, we want to show you our city. Brought John Brewer to this underground city, and John Brewer said it was the most technologically advanced civilization that he's ever seen. He says they were able to speak telepathically as well. He said then they just walked and it disappeared, and then the entrance to their city disappeared too. But he brought these copper tablets at BYU, radiocarbon dated this bark. He said with a radiocarbon age of 5 BC to 390 BC is indeed ancient. People are like, yo, you're full of crap.
I want to believe this. I really, really do. I think it's absolutely plausible that we had advanced civilizations living in North America long before it was discovered. This continent could have very well been used like Antarctica, being as it wasn't known of for such a long time. It would have been a great place to hide from the rest of civilization. What's frustrating about this one, though, is the guy claims to find this advanced race of people currently living below ground, but he brings back ancient artifacts as his proof. That doesn't prove anything other than he found something that was old. If he really wanted to prove it to everybody, he should have brought back a device of some sort to prove that they had advanced technology. That would have made a believer out of anyone.
Wait, I just tried this method to remove pain by the CIA declassified, and I fixed my stiff neck. Like, I'm not joking. I literally thought it was BS, and I'm not guaranteeing this works, but try. So at the Monroe Institute, the CIA wrote this about the Gateway program. To reduce pain signals, look with your eyes closed at the part of your body in your mind's eye. So envision what's hurting. For me, it was my neck. And then as you look in your mind's eye, repeat the number 55515. And the pain will reduce until it's no longer important. I did it and it worked. Like, I'm not joking. I want to know if it worked for you. So once again, just close your eyes. Let's say your knee hurts. You say 55515. And I had to do it only 3 times for it to go away, my neck pain. I will say, I'll be really honest, I also kind of like moved my shoulder in a weird way, like because my brain got the message to move my shoulder. And when I moved my shoulder in a weird way, that's when my neck pain went away. So I don't know if it maybe like told my brain what to do to get the neck pain to move away, or it's magic, or it's just the power of suggestion. Either way, it worked. So if you have pain, try this. It's just interesting.
I am so glad that I came across this video this morning. I completely forgot about this. When I first read about this, I memorized that number, and anytime I had the slightest little bit of pain anywhere at all, I would try this out. At the time, I was in a lot of pain from a new back injury, and you won't believe me, but this does actually work. It's not a foolproof pain relief technique, but there were times when I was in some really serious pain and I just couldn't get any relief from anything, and doing this would actually lower the pain in my back enough that I could tolerate it. I'm not sure what's taking place to make this effective, but I would have to guess that it has to do with some combination of intense focus and the placebo effect. Write that number down and try this out the next time you scrape your knee or something. It'll really surprise you how well it works.
We're giving each gold medalist $37,000. That's what the U.S. gives.
And a job at Home Depot.
No, we don't even do that anymore. Sometimes they get their picture on a Wheaties box. Okay. Congratulations, here's 37 grand and your picture on the worst cereal in the world. Yeah. Enjoy. Hong Kong and Singapore, they do the highest payouts. Hong Kong gives $768,000 to their winner. Singapore gives $745,000. And then the Philippines gives a house, a lot, a 2-bedroom condominium, $18,000 worth of furniture, a lifetime supply of cookies.
That's sick.
And free meals for life from local restaurant chains, including Korean fried chicken. There's
they should just do the Armageddon. If you win a gold medal for U.S., you never pay taxes.
Don't pay taxes, and also you get to commit 1 felony.
Sure.
Get out of jail free
not
card.
paying taxes.
not paying
Forever.
taxes, but also you can transfer that
Okay.
up to manslaughter. Indonesia in 2021 gave their gold medalists 5 cows each and a meatball restaurant.
Oh, Max.
Yeah,
Max, you need to get a passport.
Yep.
we got to step our
Balls.
shit up. And in South Korea, you get pensions. So you get like the lump sum, and then you get money every single
That's
year
what
for
you
the rest
do.
of your life.
Man, that's absolutely pathetic. I can't believe these other countries are given so much more than us. I was under the impression that all Olympic athletes are underpaid, but nope, just the American ones. That's shameful. I'm embarrassed that that's all we give to our gold medalist. It's 37 grand. I like the no taxes idea though. I think that should be applied to a lot of people. Like all active duty soldiers, no taxes. Any veterans that actually saw combat, no taxes for life. I am curious though, I wonder who pays these athletes, and I wonder how they arrived at that figure, how they justify it, and how much money they're making themselves off of that Olympic gold medalist. Hey, if you're enjoying this video and you like this type of content, I post a new one just like it every day, Monday through Friday at 3 p.m. It would be awesome if you'd hit that subscribe button and come back tomorrow to join me. Also, don't forget to check out our podcast. The link to the latest episode is in the description.
In other words, how long does it take to essentially brainwash a human being? I want to find out.
Don't do this. Or, I mean, you can do it, but know that it has side effects. My name is Iricia Grace, and it's been a year since I started doing experiments around the concept of cymatics, which is the study of visible sound, wherein I would go anywhere between a month to like 2-3 months listening to only one artist or one genre to figure out how it impacted or affected my brain. I learned a whole lot. And then a silent experiment I did after the regular music experiments, I even tried to figure out how long music and media could influence somebody to become something of a character using concepts that had a lot more to do with quantum physics. The problem is, a year out, I still can't listen to music like I used to. And what I mean by that is these experiments destroyed my ability to listen to music just casually or recreationally. I use music almost medicinally now. Like recently, I've had some health stuff going on, which is why I haven't been as active on TikTok. And when I feel a way, I find myself go, I don't feel like dealing with that. I'm going to turn on this music because I know of its effect. When I need energy, I turn to this. When I'm tired, I turn to this. I don't enjoy sound as much as I did before these experiments. And I think it's because I'm constantly pondering its effects. And I hate to sound like a conspiracy theorist or like echo, they clone Tyrone, but I can never stop thinking about the fact that you are what you hang around. What you listen to, what you watch, what you constantly ingesting, you 100% will become. And that can be a good thing or a bad thing. I stopped doing these experiments because people on this app were using my research to support bad things, but that doesn't mean that that's what it has to be. So yeah, all that being said, be careful with that.
For some reason, I can't believe so much changed so fast.
I just thought this was so cool that someone's trying to map out the effects of the body when listening to certain types of music. To say the results he found are so significant that he can use music like a tool or like a medicine, altering his mood or state of mind at will by playing certain types of music, is absolutely fascinating. I wish this guy would build a website or something and share his findings so the rest of us can benefit from his research without risking the negative side effects he experienced by finding this stuff out on his own.
They're a lot more strict about photography and videography out here, and so I'm actually going to stay in my room. I actually got into a bit of trouble last night because I was filming a couple of guys in my tour group who had issues with their bathroom plumbing. Their toilet plumbing actually ended up exploding and spurting water everywhere, and I started filming it, and they weren't very happy with that and told me to stop as soon as they saw that. But what I wanted to share with you right now is our wake-up call. If you listen behind me, this is a view through the door to my nice concrete balcony and the AC unit that's on my balcony. I'm actually staying back here because there's that military truck parked right outside our hotel, and it hasn't moved for a while, so I don't want to push things. But you can hear all the propaganda music. It'll alternate between this patriotic music and a guy yelling something that I'm sure is about the virtues and goodness and greatness of North Korea.
It's absolutely heartbreaking to see the conditions that the people in North Korea are living in. I can't imagine what it would be like to have your government in total control of every single aspect of your life. Life would feel absolutely pointless. That place looks like a low-budget World War II film set just before the bomb gets dropped. That's one of the most depressing places I've ever seen.
This conspiracy of the 432 Hertz, this conspiracy is that there was this elitist group in the world that was aligned with like Rockefellers of changing our standard music from 432 hertz to 440 hertz. And basically what the theory is that 440 hertz causes, it's not a frequency that it's tuned to bring clarity or healing, does the opposite of stress, anxiety, anger. The example, the 432 hertz is a vibration represented in the golden ratio. So kind of like how everything works together. 432 hertz is, in theory, golden ratio of hertz. But this globalist elitists wanted to change it to 440 to basically control the masses of like, so you'd be more susceptible to going to war, more susceptible to adapting ideologies that are not of God.
Inciting chaos.
I've heard this theory before, and what doesn't make sense about it to me is the same thing that doesn't make sense about a lot of these theories. If they're going to alter something for nefarious purposes, why would they alter something that's going to have an impact on them as well? They listen to music. They have a radio in their car. They go out to events and stuff where songs are being played over loudspeakers that they can't get away from. If this were true, they'd be harming themselves as well. I would say that that's my biggest issue with this one. Though they may have that part figured out, and I just don't have that insight.
They convince us that they had access to the internet, just like the rest of the world, which we knew wasn't true.
Yeah, that poor guy. He was absolutely acting. I would imagine if he messed up and said the wrong thing, there would have been some pretty harsh consequences too. You know what doesn't make any sense? The entire world is aware to some degree of what goes on inside North Korea, but not a single country is trying to do anything to help those people. There seems to be this not our people, so it's not our problem mentality when it comes to North Korea. There are supposedly 26 million people living in North Korea. 26 million people living like prisoners. Why isn't anyone doing anything?
Gen Z, watch out. This Gen Z girl just issued a huge warning, and what she said is making national headlines. It's even causing primetime TV meltdowns.
I'm sorry, if you only want to work 4 hours, it's going to be harder for you to get a house.
Angry Whoopi might be onto something.
I don't want to work anymore. Well, I genuinely like my job. But the problem is the purpose of a job is supposed to pay for you to be able to afford to live, and it's not the case anymore.
She goes on to say that she and other Gen Zs do want to work, but there's a huge problem that's preventing them from doing that. And it's not only the job market, but more importantly, it's that the jobs these days are not paying a livable wage. And consumer advocate Miranda Moret detailed this crazy reality and dropped this shocking headline: Gen Z doesn't agree that $74,000 is middle class. Only 41% of Gen Z said $74,000 was middle class. 60% said no. They said much has changed since the days of the baby boomers, where you can work for the summer and cover their school costs. Today, Gen Z can work full-time while going to school, receive some grants, and still have to take out loans for college. And once they do graduate, they're looking at job incomes of $30,000 for their primary job out of college.
You know the economy is rough whenever you can't even strip your way through college anymore. All joking aside, though, this has become a huge problem, and I held the belief for a long time that the younger generations are just lazy and don't want to put in any effort. But the reality is, as my ignorant self slowly realized, these kids feel completely hopeless. I remember working a job when I was 18 where I was only bringing home $270 a week, and I had a truck, an apartment, I paid for gas to get back and forth to work, and I still had money left over at the end of the week to hang out with my friends. That's just not a possibility now. If you had that same job today that I had then, you might as well not have a job, because that's not going to afford you anything. You can pick one of the aforementioned halves, but the rest you will have not. America has gotten so expensive to live in. I just drive down the road sometimes and look at people's houses and think, How are y'all making it? Hang in there, though. I have a feeling the markets are about to swing and these high prices will level out. They almost have to, or our economy is going to tank.
This time lapse on the 4th day of 7 days stranded at sea, you can clearly see there's no one in the shelter. These are their empty beds. But after a hard cut, magically 5 people are awake, and 2 of the boys have bright yellow raincoats that they didn't have when it rained on day 2.
And after standing the whole night, completely soaked.
You didn't spend the night soaked, Jimmy. You slept on the production yacht. It's ironic because this is one of the videos where they claim that they don't fake things.
But no, we have to be the real channel that doesn't fake things.
In this video, this wink was added in post. In fact, 58 was actually on the far opposite side of the room from 42, and he just didn't hear him. This whole revenge storyline was added in post. Multiple shots show how timers are edited in post. Timers are edited in post. Timers are edited in post. They also manipulated contestants' audio in post.
We got 15 minutes.
In general, if anything happens last second, it's fake. Or if you can hear someone's voice but can't see their mouth, the audio could easily be added in post.
Honestly, is this really that surprising to anyone? If you listen to any interviews with Mr. Beast, you'll quickly realize that his drive is the reason for his success. I'm sure he's been faking videos since the moment he figured out he could pull it off. He's so methodical with his content, I would imagine he leaves nothing to chance in his videos. That being said, when you claim that nothing in your videos are fake, and then you get exposed, all while going through a very nasty public scandal, it's not going to cast you in a good light in the eyes of the public. This guy's about to have one massive fall from grace.
When you look at the one thing that would prove the globe Earth, or the one thing that would disprove the flat Earth, what is it?
I don't know, you tell me.
It would be a linear flight path, okay? A linear traverse directly down past South America, down to Antarctica, and without breaking that straight linear path, continuing through the continent and back up the other side into the Indian Ocean. Like, this would literally end the debate. It would be the single biggest piece of evidence for the global model.
They've done it already. It was called One More Orbit.
Right. Except they actually didn't look at their flight path. So they left off the tip off South Africa. They went to the 90-degree South Pole mark. And then they literally hit a sharp 60-degree turn towards South America. They never crossed over. They didn't even alternate sides of the hemisphere. They evaded a linear path.
My God. What the hell? No, it can't be.
Yeah, man, I know. Globers will still refer to the One More Orbit expedition as if it disproves anything. Meanwhile, they never really look into the intricacies of anything. This is exactly why they just believe whatever they're told.
I get a ton of comments from people saying I need to leave this flat earth stuff out of the videos because they think it's stupid. I don't think it's stupid, and I want to explain why I keep it in here. I'm intrigued by the content and think that some of these videos raise some very good questions. I wouldn't say that the videos make me more likely to believe in a flat earth, though I have no idea what my thoughts will be in the future, but they raise some very good questions about the globe that should have a reasonable scientific explanation, yet for whatever reason, they do not. Anything that appears to be hidden information, I'm all about it, and there's absolutely something fishy going on in regards to the way we're told to view the Earth. I don't know what that is yet, but that's why I feel it's important to keep watching these videos. You don't have to agree with the content's intended goal in order to pull some nuggets of truth out of it.
NASA's a little worried because they've just released that after 45 years, Voyager 1 has just started sending signals back. Now, it's been quite dormant for quite some time, and they just thought it become space junk. Now, what the real concern is that they've actually got, and they've not really said much apart from the fact that to the edge of the solar system, the signals that are coming back, weirdly, are coming back extremely strong, considering the distance it's been. It's been travelling for 45 years away from Earth. And it's now starting to send signals back with a hum. So, they've not specifically said it's extraterrestrial at all, but they're really worried. Now, there's 2 parts to my video, so if you are still watching, let me know in the comments, because it's been travelling away from Earth for 45 years to explore the deep depths of space. Why on earth do we have problems with our mobile signals on Earth when I'm trying to call somebody just 1 county away sometimes, or 2 counties away, or even down the road? How bizarre is that, that we can have that issue on the same planet, but Voyager 1 has been travelling away from planet Earth for 45 years, but it's still sending a form of signal back, and supposedly a very strong signal. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Give me a like, share and save.
Okay, NASA. So we're supposed to believe that this thing was unoperational for 45 years and then just suddenly did what? Kick on and start sending the signal back? Unless y'all release photos or video proof of the alien repair technician working on this thing, I'm just going to assume this is misinformation y'all are giving us, so you can try to fool us later on with more deep space photos of something you want to manipulate us with.
There's this guy, his name is Kendall Chamberlain. He was this superintendent for a water company out in Vermont. And for nearly a decade, he was lowering his entire town's water's fluoride level based on his idea that fluoride was causing unfound risk in people's mental and physical health. For over an entire decade, secretly, he had control over the knob to lower these fluoride levels, inch by inch, lowering them below the state standards level. Received so much backfire that he actually had to resign. He said he got to a point where he was like, I cannot be a part of this administration. Now, the unfounded belief is that fluoride blocks the pineal gland, leads to all these different like mental health effects and whatnot. And so he believed that, you know, he was doing his town a favor. On the other side, people believe that fluoride is good for your teeth. They strengthen the enamel and reduce cavities.
But if that's the case, it should only be in toothpaste, not for you to drink. They tell you toothpaste is poisonous if you digest it.
He's the superintendent for this watering company. He's the person in charge of these chemicals. And he was like, this is not okay.
That man is an American hero. That's the kind of public service employees you want right there. Someone who knows what's going on in their community and cares enough about the people to do something about it. That's awesome. I hope the guy didn't get into any trouble. He sure didn't deserve any. Also, the podcast guy needs to look into the fluoride thing. Those are not unfounded beliefs. The studies are out.
This guy, John Stuart Reed, he does music medicine. His father was a scientist. They were allowed access to the King's Chamber in the Pyramid of Giza.
Wow.
And you know the big box that's in there?
Sarcophagus.
They put the frequency reader where you play a certain frequency and it makes a pattern.
Yeah.
They're reading the frequencies from the King's Chamber and they put it in the sarcophagus. And what it did was it formed different hieroglyphics.
Weird.
Ones that they've known before.
Yeah, from Egypt.
Is that how they got the hieroglyphics in the first place? Their language?
I don't know.
It's frequency.
Oh my gosh, dude.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
But he said something very strange happened. So years prior to that, he got in like a car accident, broke his back, and had to have surgery. And so he lived with like chronic back pain.
Mm-hmm.
And he said after they did this experiment with the frequencies in the King's Chamber, his back never hurt again. And so he started studying it, and they take people with like diseases and chronic pain and they play certain frequencies. And he says their blood gets pumped full of oxygen just from these frequencies.
Wow.
And it allows the healing process to happen quick.
I am so excited to see research being done on frequency healing. I think that's going to revolutionize medicine. One thing this video made me think about, we've seen objects on Mars that look like Egyptian hieroglyphs. Maybe those are naturally occurring symbols in the dirt created by sound waves hitting the planet in specific frequencies. I don't think that's the explanation, but that would at least be something somewhat believable that NASA could tell us to explain that away. Come on, NASA, tell better lies. Make it hard for us. This was actually 2 photos that were submitted by one of our eagle-eyed viewers and sent to me over in the Discord. He writes, "This is the patch from the STS-107 mission that ended in disaster upon re-entry. First off, this patch was on their flight suits in this picture, so it isn't post-crash. If you look closely, there is something burning up and crashing over the Earth. Also, look at the Earth. All the continents are on about a quarter of what would be the total surface of the world. You could certainly argue that that's just the atmosphere and the sun on that patch instead of something burning up and crashing over the Earth. But what I found most interesting was the layout of the continents. It certainly seems like they tried to squeeze everything into a quarter of the Earth's surface. I can't help but be reminded of Seven Club's quarter theory. Could this be another clue?"
Bernie Mac was a real one.
On the lap, you're sitting. Did you wait?
No.
It would be her. Abby, isn't Jeremy on the other side? Where am I? I'm gonna show you. Ow! All right, Bernie. He's actually gonna sit on your lap. No? Okay. Do we have it outside?
There's not really much here for context, but it certainly looks like we just found a rare video clip of a celebrity actually being appropriate around children. Good on you, Bernie Mac.
Men have an issue talking about their feelings. I don't, you know.
I recently, it's a change for me. Talk to my kids. I was a little bit old school. I thought, don't burden them if you're anxious. And then all of a sudden, someone said to me, he said, but when you get anxious, say you've got an opening night or you're hosting the Oscars, for 3 weeks before, my mind, and I go a little distant. And he said, but your kids don't know that you've got the Oscars. That's why maybe they're thinking you're mad with them. They've done something. And I was like, oh, no, really?
Yeah.
And so, no, I will now say to them, I had to make an uncomfortable phone call yesterday. And I actually just said to my son, I said, I've got to make this uncomfortable phone call. I'm a bit nervous about it. If I seem a bit off, that's why. And he goes, oh. And then he said, how did the call go, Dad? And I said, I feel so much better. Like it was.
And he feels a part, because you're his hero. He feels a part of.
And there's our good clip for the day, everybody. So I actually started doing this with my kids a little while back. It wasn't because of this clip. I just made the decision that I wanted a closer relationship with my kids, and so I started sharing more of myself with them. But the number one thing that I think came out of it is the heightened level of communication that we have now with each other. They know what's going on in my daily life, so they'll come and ask me about it. They'll sit and work through ideas with me and help me solve problems. It's like when I open myself up to my kids in the sense of sharing my struggles with them and showing them that we all have problems. They suddenly turned into little adults overnight with the way they communicate with me, and it's been a complete blessing. My kids and I can talk now about anything, and they feel comfortable coming to me with their problems because they know that I have them as well. I don't burden my kids with my problems, but I give them a heads up on what's going on if it's something that could potentially impact their lives as well. And if something is going to change my mood or make me temporarily difficult to be around, that's going to have an impact on their life. But guys and gals, I'm going to go ahead and end the video right there. I hope you enjoyed these clips we watched together today. I'll be back tomorrow with another video. I hope you come back to join me. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe if you haven't already, and check out www.barry-stepp.com if you'd like to order yourself a shirt or a hat. It greatly helps me support the channel, and I'm so thankful for everyone and anyone who's ordered anything off of there so far. Also, don't forget to post your photos of your merch over in the Discord to get your photo in a video. But with all that out of the way, I hope everyone has a great, safe, fantastic rest of your day, and I will see you all tomorrow.